fourth number will be honest but gentle with yourself. Sometimes really we are not gentle enough, or we are too gentle. Again, we have to be honest. Like we cannot force ourselves, regardless. Okay, I really want to retreat. Oh my gosh, that's my dream. But as I was going through, it may not be the time for you. And we all are learning. Sometimes we do retreat out of avoidance, as we went over. And sometimes we stay in the world because we are afraid of solitude. So both kind of things, that's okay. The point isn't perfection. We are not a perfect being, and also we don't have a discerning wisdom. In Tibetan tradition, that happened. We had a system, very good system in the traditional Tibetan. We just go to Lama, asking Lama to do more, like a fortune teller, asking Lama, should I do a retreat or not? So then Lama will tell you. And if you are trusted Lama, you have a connection with that Lama, tell you, oh, very simple, do a retreat. Then when? Which day, which month should I start doing? Then Lama will tell you. Then looking at all the more, okay, starting the August is the best for you, or very auspicious for you, or something like that. Then asking, where should I stay? Lama will tell you, I was trying to settle somewhere, asking. I had options, either in Australia, Japan, or somewhere in the West, maybe America. We have to give some options. I mean, not the vague questions. Have to have this specific thing. Then the A, B, C, D. Then the material, okay, C and D is good, but don't do A or something like that. That's the kind of criteria. Then we decide, okay, maybe D or something like that. Let's go over a little more. Number 4 be honest and gentle with yourself. We are talking about if your current path or current journey feels safe, then it may be the time for pause and listen and shift. Don't be afraid to be this way or that way. Yeah, so this is a journey, right? So we need to, this balance, especially balance, is something we need to learn just doing it, like just living a life in this case. So then the last one would be the sacred view, world view, sacred outlook. No place is outside of the path. Everything become your journey past awakening. From the non-dual perspective, so this is the practice. There is no place where not practice, not Dharma, or there is no Dharma. Everything should be the path and Dharma, even your struggle with this tension. And retreat is not separate from engagement as a service. Retreat is a service, and also engagement is not outside of practice. Everything, when held with view and awareness, motivation, becomes the field of awakening. So that's very important. This kind of way of viewing or realization transforms the tension. Tension doesn't become a problem in a way. Tension into a tantric interplay. Appearance and emptiness, for example. Emptiness and appearance, form and formless, not either one or something like that, or both. You may find that the deeper you go inward, the more love you have to give. You cannot help but giving. If you have inner resources, you can share, right? You cannot help but sharing with others. The more you serve, then the more you humble and return to inner work, return to the need for silence. We need both, this balancing.
I really appreciate everything you're saying about this topic. Just to share my own experience, bringing this tension on the path. It's like relaxing into tension, not relaxing the tension itself, but rather fully experiencing the tension with ease, which is like a koan, right? It's a deep mystery. So I think this notion of bringing this tension on the path is actually deeply mysterious. So when Conjola, you speak about, that this is a working ground, you take it on the path, it's like resting and not knowing. I'm not sure what to say about this other than there's a couple slogans that come to mind, like do it and review it. And you just keep doing it over and over again. You just do it, review it, you do it, you review it. So these questions that Conjola is inviting us to ask, they're ongoing questions that in a way they're not answerable. They don't really have answers like, here's my answer, now I'm all settled. Because that's just not the nature of practice.
Yeah, this is a tantric journey as well. Let's have fun with this, this tension. You may not feel comfortable, but if we live like up to this point, like my age, I feel like I should have fun with this tension kind of thing, not take it too serious in a sense. Like as long as we are engaging, we have a motivation, correct motivation, and then trust in a call, trust in a wisdom, and energy connecting around the energies, and deep listening. Yes, we know how to listen to ourselves. That itself is a journey. You may have watched this Tibetan movies, salt men, selling the salt, doing this trading, salt, harvesting salt from the lake, and then bring it trading, going somewhere, India maybe, or the other region to sell, then come back. So that's sort of story about that one. I don't remember the story much, but only one thing, one word uttered by one Tibetan remained me. That's a movie, like fiction. But then traditionally Tibetan family produce at least one monk from the household, especially that's kind of nomad or traders, and they want to have a monk. Their family, the brother, I think brothers. And then one brother was sent to the monastery and trained as a monk. Then other one was working very hard with father. Yeah, I think helping father. Then what happened is father died. I don't remember what accident or something. All of a sudden father died. So then nobody can support the family. And then this one brother had a very hardship, very, very difficult life, father all of a sudden died. Then other monk brother came back and started helping out. So left the monastery, educations, and this and that. Then brother, maybe toward the last phase of that movie, asked this ex-monk, why did you leave the monastery? Such a good education, and you become a great teacher in the future. Why you abandon that path journey? Then this ex-monk told that I chose the difficult journey because that's what my teacher always teaching me. So this is about that mind transformation, right? This Lojong teaching, Dharma teaching. Dharma is against the stream. Buddha taught something not normally, not about making your life comfortable. We can make our life comfortable with our own mind, but it's not about that. But then he was saying like that. That's all about the Dharma. What I learned from Dharma is to choose a difficult or challenging path, challenging journey, then transform it into the practice and the spiritual journey. This is very interesting one to open up your own experience. Does that make sense? Something we went over a few points. Very rich, practical question, I think. So these two paths, two journey, right? Retreat and engagement. In summary, we need both. In the modern Sangha like this, what we are trying to do is we have a group retreat once in a while, at least a couple of times throughout the year. We do the focused treating. But retreat, in this case, in a modern context, household as a retreat, focused to engage the practice. Then we come back to our life, engaging, especially most of you have a job and engaging in a job situation, either are also very important, transforming whatever arises into that path of love, compassion, patience, forgiveness. All this good stuff you can learn by living life. If you are just doing a retreat as avoidance, you are missing that point, missing the opportunities. But in doing a retreat, then go deeper. This nurture, cultivate your inner qualities, love, supported by wisdom, wisdom supported by love. Those two things we can cultivate in retreat.
I was reminded of a book by Jack Kornfield, who's an American Buddhist. And one of the books he wrote was called After the Ecstasy, The Laundry. And this book is basically stories of dedicated Buddhist practitioners who go off on like long retreats, like 3 months, 6 months. And then when they're done with the retreat, they come back to their household lives. And they find that all of their habitual tendencies are all still there waiting for them. So it's like after the ecstasy, the laundry, like what happens when you come down from the mountain. And the reason I just named this book is because I think it's just a universal thing that all Buddhists go through of learning from this deep mystery, really.
Dirty underwear. Yeah, always get dirty. But I think, I don't know what the conclusion or no conclusion in that book, but always come out. Like a Zen, 10 cows. Zen tradition has this 10 pictures of a cow, seeking cow and lost a cow. So that's the journey, right? So we can apply to that too, seeking. Then toward the end, like a ninth one, lost everything, right? So enlightenment. Then the last one is the laughing Buddha, come back to engaging, come back to the world, laughing. So that's a bodhisattva journey, and we want to be like that. But we have to go through those things, difficult. I think the lost cow, seeking cow, and this asking this, that. Yeah, life is interesting and very good. We have this precious human life, and for some reason we got. Not all people are like that, interested in even talking about this kind of topics. Be patient, also very important. I say that this itself is a path, so I can learn so much. The joy, actually, if we don't have that tension, or maybe we may not call tension, but doesn't have these two poles, then become very boring. Journey become boring, or doesn't give us a juice. So just only one side. Retreating, doesn't give us juice. But then, of course, engagement, this active engagement, so that gives. Then, of course, only active engagement, so exhausted and burnout, so we need both. This tension is beautiful and joyful, should be.